Friends, leaders all across the world, why am I starting this morning by saying there's magic? Yes, we all think there's magic, but we don't believe in them. We always see the magic, but we always feel that, oh, it happens to others. No, there's magic anywhere you look. My question to all of you is, what's on your mind? How do you define your magic? Let's answer that in whatever way and capacity that we can. Now, mind you, depending on the age, you grew up listening to others talking about, I wonder what his IQ is. I wonder her IQ and where she's at. That was up until the 80s. Everyone was measured by IQ. Even if you wanted to get into the MBA program, engineering, PhD, whatever that you were trying to do, you took GRE, GMAT, SAT, and all those tests that measured directly or indirectly IQ. Up until the 80s, that was so prevalent. Then came someone named Mr. Goldberg, and he said you can have a good number, a good IQ size, but if you don't have the good EQ, which is the emotional quotient, you will be successful and you will be a leader for only a shorter duration and short period of time. Now, mind you, this was in the 90s. Here comes 2013, and there is this guy named Pandya. After 30 plus years of global research experience, interviews, and one-on-one informal as well as formal interactions, comes up with a score that is called PQ. PQ literally stands for passion quotient. So the claim that Ben seems to make is you may or may not have the high level IQ. You may or may not have high level EQ, which is emotional quotient. But here is a guarantee and a commitment and the magic. If you have the high level passion quotient, there is no obstacle that's ever going to stand in your way to not only achieving your goals, but exceeding them at every stage in life. Would you agree there is magic in whatever we aspire and whatever we do? You bet. That's the first one. Now, if you think about PQ, what does passion quotient do for all of us? Yeah, I'm passionate about going to the movies. Yeah, I'm passionate about going every weekend to the beach, or hiking, or exercise, or cycling, and so on and so forth. But that tends to be used more so for filling the gap of the 40 minutes that we have each day. Why am I saying filling the gap? Because it has no purpose other than to stay healthy, meeting with spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, what have you. But as soon as you turn that passion and passion quotient into a purpose, then you are talking rising and elevating, enhancing the passion quotient to a different level altogether. Take, for example, 5 entrepreneurs that come to your mind. You can think of anyone that comes to your mind who you feel and believe is the most passionate person on the face of this earth. If that be the case, begin to ask the question behind the question, and that is what brought them to where they're at. What kind of planning went into it? What was the purpose when they started with their passion and so on, right? So, as soon as we're able to answer those questions, we'll come back to the 5 entrepreneurs more towards the conclusion of my sharing this with you. But let's begin to look at what's on your mind. What is your passion that'll turn into your purpose, that will seek your planning, which will then invite you to be persistent in order for you to realize and recognize sustained success. Given that, here you go. What we ought to be able to do in order to uncover our passion is very simple. Yes, it's probably as normal as breathing or speaking. Learn and understand the concept of passion. Anyone can claim that they are, hey, we're cool. Yeah, but passion makes you awesome. Let me repeat, passion makes you awesome and indispensable. If that be the case, you're saying, aha, I found my magic. I want to be indispensable. So, given that, understand how our passion can help our leadership. Because leadership is born out of passion. Go into that in a bit as well. But leadership is where, if you are the servant leader, that you believe in servitude, that you want to develop and help everyone that you come in contact with. That's what it will do for you. Passion is a magic word, and it has magical tendencies around what it delivers, not only for yourself, but for others and those, whether you come in contact with or not. We got to begin to examine not only our passion, but to be able to inspect and uncover other people's passion. Now, to give you an example, if you come across and interact with someone that came across rather direct, focused, and therefore rude in your opinion, and you can judge that person to be rude or ill-mannered, but my invitation to you is, do you know his or her passion in order to come to that conclusion or make that estimate that he or she is rude and therefore ill-mannered? Probably not, but we haven't asked the right question. Given that, we have to determine what happens when we overuse our passion. Begin to think of how our thoughts, words, values, and actions are aligned to what we are doing. Here's my biggest question. Are you the same person that is in front of an open door that is living the life behind closed doors as well? If the answer is yes, you are, you've found your thoughts, words, values, actions, and decisions are aligned. Given that, we all have to have and believe in our personal accountability. I'll give you the steps in a minute as well. And we got to understand how leadership, management, coaching, and technology guys align and understand each other to empower one another. Are we ready? So in order to get to your passion, purpose, planning, persistence, and therefore sustained success, here's the first thing and first step that you got to take. In order to get from, let's assume that you are sitting in London and you want to go from London to Singapore, you have to find out, first of all, where you are in London and then how you get to Singapore. My point being, you gotta have the self-awareness. Self-awareness, my friends, is the first step in any journey that you will undertake. If that be the case, and if you are convinced about that, self-awareness will also invite you to gain the awareness of your own surrounding your environment, awareness of your influence, whether you interact with someone or indirect influence, and awareness of your leadership. Now, mind you, leadership is all about influencing others because you have in your self-awareness and your leadership already influenced yourself. Given that, this all falls into the magic of ownership. Are you the owner? If you are, you already know this. But if you have not thought about whether you are the owner or not, watch this. Because watch your thoughts. They shape your words. Watch your words. They create your actions. Watch your actions. They formulate your habits. Watch your habits. They build your character. And mind you, watch your character. It is your destiny. And this time, take it personally. Make it a personal competition for yourself to see to it that watch your thoughts. They shape your destiny. We have some people that we come across this way when we talk about watch your thoughts. And if we do the otherwise, look at what happens. You and I looking at this picture are probably thinking, obviously it was this guy's job to clean it up before he painted the median. He or she had a different thought. But this is why, if you look at it, personal accountability adds to sense of belonging. We belong somewhere more than anyone else can give us that sense. Sense of ownership adds to leadership. And mind you, being passionate, enthusiastic, obviously, accountability and efficiency will come on by real quick. Do you agree? Because here it is. If you are passionate about a certain cause and purpose, it will build you and your ownership. That ownership will invariably bring about the leadership, and that leadership will invite you to have the accountability, which will then turn into efficiency of unparalleled measure and outcomes. Because efficiency increases when we care about our work. Look at this. Now, this person in this picture knows that she has been gifted with probably the most precious gift of her lifetime. Yes, I mean she is expecting. And if she is, what is her accountability? If you are still left with that question mark, I'm going to not answer that question either. Because we can bring the horse to the race course. We honestly cannot make him win if he does not want to win. So here are the distinctions between leaders, managers, coaches, and the technology experts. Leaders, as you see, we tend to take others where they've not been before and are hesitant to go by themselves. Managers are all about results. I want to plan, I want to organize, I want to implement, I want to control, I want to delegate. And obviously, I've got to inspect what I expect for the results. Given that, coaches tend to help others to achieve any kind of results, whether personal or business, they desire and aspire. So basically, coaches inspire what others aspire. And technology experts, please don't kid yourself. We are who we are and what we are in terms of efficiency, outreach, global connections, and what have you is all because of technology experts that influence our environment. And I am immensely grateful to all of them that help and make this magic a possible result. Given that, if you've heard about Archimedes and some of the others, that you are saying, but there's nothing in common. You're absolutely right. There isn't, because you are your unique, indispensable self. Don't shortchange yourself. If someone proved some time ago that Earth is round, your assignment, your passion and purpose, therefore, should be to think of some other indispensable aspect of what you can leave behind as your legacy for the world to cherish for years, decades, centuries to come. Miracles do occur. No, I'm not going to ask you to jump through the hoops, but miracles do occur. If you don't believe it, just look at the person sitting next to you or standing next to you. You never know his or her powerful story till you listen and you understand, and you will be able to convince yourself that yes, miracles do happen. There are no accidents, because listening and engaging in someone else's powerful story is also by design. Yes, my friends, miracles do happen. Given that, some time ago I asked you to think about 5 entrepreneurs or CEOs. I'm not going to name names, but you know these organizations where the CEO and the path that they lit for others to walk on are the ones that were passionate about, that found their purpose, and obviously continued to plan at all times with persistence to be able to deliver what possibly could be a utopia. ASU, Apple, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. And there are so many others. But I want you to listen to the powerful story of these 5 CEOs and see how believable they make to understand magic is right around the corner. 5 CEOs, let's ask about what is their magic ignition. What could happen if they were to use and overuse any of these attributes? And who would you want to work with? Yes, who would you want to work with? If that becomes your passion, aspiration, you will start planning and climbing where you want to get to. Or why not? And there are other 50 people that you would rather work with, so be it. But begin to have a purpose and a plan. What will you work on next? And this is what it comes down to. If you could have any job, any role, what job would it be and why? Answer this for yourself. You don't have to share with anyone. This is a personal, confidential exercise that I want to leave you with. What are your vision, mission, goals? and what measures will you put in place? And there is nothing more powerful that you can do to yourself than look at yourself in the mirror as to how powerful story is yours for you to be able to share. Thank you very much.